first markup as a member of Congress, as a startup member of Congress, is a bill to address the critical issue of cybersecurity. And I'm proud and feel fortunate to represent northern Silicon Valley in California, the heart of innovation, technology, computers, and the Internet for the nation and the world. Needless to say, protecting the integrity of computer systems and securing the information they contain is absolutely critical for our area. If we were to sneeze, the rest of the country could catch a cold. That's why it's so important to protect the infrastructure in Silicon Valley. An attack against companies in Silicon Valley will ripple across the country and the globe. As we know, this threat is very real. Networks are being attacked constantly by a variety of different actors and for different reasons. For example, there is evidence that Iran has targeted our financial institutions, and China is out to steal one of the best drivers we have of economic growth, our intellectual property. And I would dispute that this is just one country acting. I believe the evidence is clear. There are a number of nation states, and there are a number of individual criminal organizations from all over the globe who are seeking to attack our networks. Yesterday, in the other committee on which I sit, the Committee on Homeland Security, we discussed these and other issues at a hearing with Department of Homeland Security Deputy Secretary Janet Lute and other interested stakeholders. DHS acknowledges the need for federal legislation to enhance cybersecurity capabilities while still protecting privacy, and I'm looking forward to passing legislation to do that out of the Homeland Security Committee. Today, we're considering a piece of the cybersecurity puzzle, H.R. 756, the Cybersecurity Enhancement Act of 2013. This bill would help develop our capabilities for cyber defense by, among other elements, developing security standards and improving the collaboration among federal agencies for relevant research and development. I support this bill, and I encourage my colleagues to do so as well. I want to make two quick points. First, Section 107 requires a report from the President relating to the needs of our federal cybersecurity workforce. Among other items, the bill requires that the report include an analysis of any barriers to the federal government recruiting and hiring cybersecurity talent, including barriers relating to the compensation, hiring process, job classification, and hiring flexibilities. I want to be clear that any such discussion should encompass and explain the effects of the ongoing federal pay freeze and the sequester. Federal employee pay has been frozen since 2011, and that freeze is expected to continue this year. This sequester, as has been alluded to by the ranking member and others, threatens to hurt our capabilities in fighting cybersecurity. I believe the problem with the sequester is that when it's so indiscriminate and across the board, you target and cut. You do not target, but rather you cut some services that are very critical, and in many cases, there are services that should be cut more than what we're cutting them. For example, agricultural subsidies. If I had to weigh agricultural subsidies against protecting our cyber networks, I think it's clear, based on what the national security threat is, where we should be putting our money. Second, I strongly believe that our best solutions come from collaboration between all interested stakeholders, government, industry, academia, and so on. I ran for Congress with a deep desire to encourage public-private partnerships and collaboration, and I hope that we can do that with this bill. Section 103 requires a plan on how the Networking and Information Technology Research and Development Program should best guide federal cybersecurity research and development. The plan already must include a variety of items, like goals for federal research and a description of how the program will establish a research infrastructure. As part of this process, the agencies involved should also be required to consider and include in the report how the program will foster the establishment of public-private partnerships that will result in research, technologies, and applications that will help us improve our cybersecurity defense. With such an important issue and in the area of tight budgets, we need to make the best and most effective use of our taxpayer dollars. This can be accomplished in part by combining the talents of the private sector, like the many technology companies in my district, and the government. Mr. Chairman, I hope you and the ranking member will consider adding such a provision to the bill when it passes the committee today. I look forward to working with you both on strengthening this bill before it makes its way to the House floor. And thank you again for holding this markup.
Thank you, Mr. Swalwell.